Hello, this is Dantalian Jones. Today I'm going to discuss what is described as gaslighting. Gaslighting is a way to make people doubt their perceptions and conclusions. It is useful when someone has a belief that limits their choice of responses. I want to thank those people on the Mind Control 101 discussion group for suggesting this topic. If you want to join this group, I'll tell you more at the end of this video, and I'll also provide a link below the video. Now, at the end of this video, you'll be asked to click the like button because it's informative, it's entertaining, mostly, and because I asked you. The goal of this video is to show what gaslighting is, describe what it does, and give you a few ways to use the technique. First, the term gaslighting came from the 1944 film Gaslight, where the lead male character attempts to convince his wife that she's going crazy. One of the ways he does this is by covertly dimming and brightening the gaslighting in ways that are contrary to what she believes she's doing. The modern use of the word gaslighting has come to describe a pattern of psychological abuse in which the victim is gradually manipulated into doubting his or her own reality. But for the sake of persuasion and influence, it means to make someone doubt or reevaluate their own thoughts, perceptions, and conclusions. While you may believe that gaslighting is a dirty trick used to hurt people, you have to understand that we do it all the time. Gaslighting is a major component of communication. In fact, most communication is about us trying to influence someone away from how they currently think to a way that is more suitable to our goals and ideals. In fact, it's as common as telling someone, "You're wrong." But just because gaslighting is commonly used, it does not mean that it's commonly effective. In fact, it usually gets the opposite result. Everyone has a deeply rooted interest in maintaining the reality they have created, and to change it quickly is usually so offensive and so frightening, it will evoke their greatest possible resistance. It should also be noted that not all gaslighting attempts are destructive. Counselors make great effort to alter an unhealthy perception of reality to one that is more supportive of the client's mental health. In this video, I'll provide you with both positive and negative examples of gaslighting techniques. I can't police how you decide to use the technique of gaslighting, but I can tell you or ask you to not be an asshole with the technology. There are enough of them already in the world without you contributing to the world's suffering. So have fun and play nice. Before I give examples of gaslighting techniques, I want to emphasize how to soften the techniques so they don't create a strong, immediate resistance. You can do this by saying what is called a softening statement with as much empathy and compassion as possible. A softening statement might be something like, I want you to know that I'm telling you this as a close friend. Or, that makes me wonder. So, as a rule, always begin with a softening statement. I'll begin with one of the most effective forms of gaslighting. It's called revealing the hidden thoughts of others. Imagine you're at your job of several years in which you have a reputation as upbeat and funny. When two of your coworkers take you aside and tell you that everyone in the office has tried to be nice, but that your jokes and sense of humor leaves everyone disgusted and find the time you take with them wasteful and a total distraction from their work. The effect would likely be painful and dramatic. You would instantly reevaluate everything you thought about your job, your friends, your friendships, and yourself. The same effect can be used to help people reevaluate themselves in positive ways. Imagine your boss's secretary takes you aside and says, he wouldn't want me to know that I told you this. But your boss said that he had never seen someone work as hard as you. He is so proud of how you've worked out here. So to recap, revealing the hidden thoughts of others, you are, in short, telling the person what other people are secretly thinking about them. If you're going to use it, remember to play nice and be kind to people. The next gaslighting technique is pretty simple in concept and explanation. It's simply called repetitive questioning, and that is essentially all you have to do. A personal example of repetitive questioning happened to me when I decided to make a relatively significant change in my life, and it puzzled and even distressed a few people. One person kept asking me, "Are you sure? Are you really certain about that? You're sure?" Fortunately, my familiarity with repetitive questioning prompted me to tell them to either stop questioning my decision or to leave. They stopped. In its highest form, repetitive questioning takes the form of sleight of mouth patterns. These are types of questions that make you analyze the things that make up the belief. Without going into extensive detail about sleight of mouth patterns, here are a few as an example. Where did you get that belief from? Have you considered all the long-term implications of that? Have you ever thought how believing the opposite will get what you want even quicker? What process led you to that? Are you really the type of person who holds that belief? This is not an exhaustive list by any means. It's been demonstrated that if you use 4 sleight of mouth patterns in a row, it will usually create a huge doubt for the person who's holding the belief that you want to topple. Like any form of gaslighting, repetitive questioning and sleight of mouth patterns can be very uncomfortable and create anger and resistance in the person you're trying to gaslight. As mentioned earlier, it's a good idea to use softening statements to make them sound less harsh, and remember, play nice. It's better to help than to hurt with this technology. Another gaslighting technique I call illuminating the darkness. This is done by bringing to light things that people were not aware of. By doing this, a person will begin to wonder if there is anything else that they've overlooked. Once they are brought into the light, they begin to realize that there is a whole unseen world of darkness, meaning things they don't know about. During the human potential movement of the 1970s and 80s, people would sit through seminars where they would be constantly reminded of their failed promises. After these insights were brought into sufficient light, they would quit attempting to explain or justify their failings and look to the seminar leader for the answer. In other words, they began to doubt what they believed about themselves. The negative aspect of illuminating the darkness would be to reveal things that are negative about a person. If you do it gently and with lots of kindness, you can encourage a change in someone. You can turn the technique to help people by pointing out something positive in their character or behavior. But to make it effective, it must be something they would not have considered on their own. I hope this has been enough to give you a good starting point to understand gaslighting. If you have any additional ideas or suggestions, post them in the comments below or send them to me. And by all means, use them on people, but play nice and aim for a kind and helpful outcome. I had mentioned that I would tell you how to join the Mind Control 101 discussion group. It's pretty simple. Go to yahoo.com and in the search bar type Mind Control 101 group, and it will be the first link that pops up. The link is also provided for you below in the description of this video. What can you anticipate in the next mind control video? Well, lots of good stuff. If there's a topic you'd like to cover, then post a comment. I intend to cover some very interesting topics in the weeks to come. You can start looking forward to them right now. In the meantime, check out the other cool videos on my YouTube channel. If you have any questions or want to learn more about language patterns, there's a link you'll find below this video. And remember to like this video and to share it with your friends because, like I said, it's informative and entertaining, mostly, and because I asked you.